I see you alphas in the building. It's my birthday, August 1st, and I see y'all alphas. And for 1 second, can an alpha please, on his birthday, just for a second, just in the comments, please, just for a second, give an alpha. Oh, Zam! It's your boy Love Zelmae, looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy, and of course it's the alpha's birthday on a Monday. And you know who I'm with. I'm with the boys. It's Man Cave. All right, today, how y'all doing today? To my right, you got the legend, the one and the only, the best on the mic in the Midwest and soon to be South. Whenever we get this set up, Uniqo Williams. How you doing today, Uniqo?
You know it's your birthday, so I'm not gonna fuck with your intro today. So, have at it.
Hey.
Oh, also I want to tell Tori I love his fucking shirt today.
Speaking of Tori, he up there to the top right. Afro coming 765. How are you doing today, my guy?
You already know, local neighborhood scumbag here to give the folks their daily dose of dirtbag. Same gimmick, different day.
And of course, right above me, you got the legend himself, TikTok royalty.
They're green M&M.
TikTok royalty. It's a little green side.
Green M&M, everybody.
TikTok royalty himself, anime royalty on the come up on that app. Follow him on TikTok. Everybody, Monray. How you doing there, Monray?
What's up? It's your boy Green with Envy already, always, and all is here. Finally, joined by Mr. DoorDash himself, Uniqo Williams, and of course the neighborhood scumbag, and of course Zelmae on his birthday. I'm not even gonna mess with him about the intro. Like he said, I'm gonna let him make it today. I'm gonna let him make it. So, we here, we green, and we taste like apples. And I ain't talking about the fruit.
Shout out to Monray for that. Shout out to Monray. But we got a topic today. Today we are talking about role models. And what is a role model, you ask? A role model is someone that young people or anybody can look up to that has experienced and been through something. So today we have the question, what is a role model and how do we define it? I want to start off with Joe. Joe, what is a role model? Did you have role models? How would you define a role model?
Role model to me is somebody that I aspire to be. There's some kind of like aspect of that person that I really admire, that I want to emulate. A role model is somebody that you want to emulate. I think that's the word that you want to go with. So when it comes to emulation, I know, you can have a lot of people that are role models. I know that my first role model was my uncle of mine. He was the first one. He was a black guy in the hood with the video games, with the Sega Genesis, with the Game Boy. I'm talking about the big fat boy with the 2-hour battery life with the biggest batteries of all time. That was my first role model. And then I started meeting people within those games, within those comic books, within those, those type of situations. So that being said, that's role model to me. Something that you emulate yourself to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Uncle Joe's uncle. I think he's been a guest on the podcast when we argue about Iron Man.
He has been a guest via text message.
Yes.
So yes, he has been a guest via text message.
But Joe, I got another question. Who is a role model for a scumbag? Or definition of role model?
Well,
you actually had me thinking about it for a second, but I think I let the expert do it.
That's a very good question. Well, my original role model would probably be The Undertaker, but then I was informed that it's not exactly feasible to be a zombie Undertaker from the Wild Wild West in modern day times. So, I mean, a role model is obviously, like Joe said, it's somebody you look up to, somebody you emulate, someone you want to be like, but it's also someone that can guide you in that right direction. So someone that can actually take the time to sort of steer you away from the problems you face as you're developing. I mean, because my pops wasn't the greatest role model, but I could have had way worse role models. He's a regular dude, retired, worked as a garbage man for most of his life, freaking yada yada, regular stuff. But I feel like I've had so many role models from so many different freaking all the way down to, I mean, random cartoon shows. I mean, I'm sure Barney was my role model at some point in time, though that might be.
Whoa. I can not imagine you being in a world where you just embracing people.
That's why.
I guess everybody's a blank slate. Everybody's a blank slate.
At some point in time,
like away from that. Who role modeled you away from
it's like the fuck Barney,
man.
Nigga.
Can I blame? I don't know. I don't want to put blame on musicians and stuff, but I mean, your boy heard 3-6 Mafia back in the day, and that was the beginning of the end. I mean, Project Pat, during my formative years was probably a way bigger part than he should have been. I even almost got shot at a Project Pat concert once. So
at the Oasis, no, I mean at the Bypass Bar and Grill.
Yeah, bygones. That's what it is. Bygones.
We threw chairs everywhere. It was a good night.
It was lit, but I mean,
yeah.
Project Pat said,
I don't want to blame the musicians, but music was a big part of my formative years, as it is for anybody. Lots of 3-6 Mafia, lots of Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, you can put Enter the 36 Chambers up against any rap album, period, and I still think it holds its weight against damn near anybody. So music was a super big one for me, but yeah, just I guess it comes down to I've had a lot of role models that have led me down this scumbag path, and they taught me the do's and don'ts of scumbaggery. Because believe it or not, even scumbags know where to draw the line sometimes. We don't take it as far as you can. You only take it as far as is feasible. So, like I said, an important part of a role model is guiding people in the right direction. So basically, a role model is anyone on this show that isn't me.
Shout out to 3-6 Mafia, Project Pat for taking hugs away from Tori.
Yeah, I switched out Barney for 666 real quick.
And last but certainly not least, we got the man himself, Monroe. What is a role model? How do you define it? And did you have role models growing up?
I mean, just look at me. That's the simplest thing I can tell everybody, man. The best role model is me. Nah, seriously though, like the role model pretty much has a universal term. It's just, somebody you look up to, somebody that you aspire to be like, or you model yourself or some aspects of your life after.
Somebody you model yourself after.
The easiest way to say role model, like that's pretty much it. So, did I have role models? Sort of. Like most of my role models, at least growing up, weren't really like the people I was around a lot of times. Or at least I didn't think of them until later on in life, like after my teenage years. Growing up, most of my role models is what I saw on the telly. Good old television. That's not it. Like, them were my role models. So, better for worse, however you want to take it. What my role models growing up. What the third question was?
What is a role model? How do you define it? And did you have any role models growing up?
So yeah, how do I define it? I mean, like pretty much you define it as just somebody you want to be like. Now, people take negative role models, because there can be bad role models. It's just whoever you aspire to be like, or you aspire your life to be like in whatever way, shape, form, and fashion. Not gonna judge, not gonna ask, not gonna put any questions for. That's your life, but that's pretty much it. It's just somebody you aspire to be like for XYZ reason. And, everybody don't necessarily have, I ain't gonna say most, but everybody don't necessarily have role models in their life or family or close friends or people growing up. Now, if you do, that is a wonderful thing. Everybody don't have that. So if you don't, sometimes you just gotta work what you got. And that leads to some negative aspects of yourself in your older years. Now, when I got older,
learn good stuff from bad role models.
When I got older, I did realize that I have role models because I didn't have a better understanding of the people in my life until I was older. But when I got older, definitely got a few of them.
Hey,
Situational awareness.
Also, I just remember my first role model.
Who was it, Joe?
It was some Hawaiian bread with some butter on it that was getting the pictures taken.
See, I thought you were gonna say Kobe.
It was a piece of Hawaiian bread with butter on it, and they were taking pictures of it and put it in the middle of Jet magazine.
I think that's a lust model.
I mean, I'm in agreement.
I don't know what a young girl was
Once you
thinking
see the
about.
right set of buns, you
Hawaiian rolls.
you aspire to be the person buttering them buns.
I aspire.
Well, you need to be a hand model. Was there a hand there anywhere in there? Or was it just solo dolo bread?
It was just buttered bread. And they just
so
put it.
you was just thinking about getting rich, nigga. You didn't know it. You were looking at the bread and the butter, and you were like, "Dang, Hawaiian rolls be expensive. I'm trying to be able to afford that on the regular."
If you're a young kid, I want y'all to understand. Y'all don't understand the struggle of searching for Jet magazines, and that be the way. Because if y'all looked at Jet magazines, y'all be like, bro, I can just go online, and we didn't have it. Joe, you had to go find.
You know how much you had to beg for enough money to purchase a issue of Vibe magazine in my day?
Monte, you couldn't just go online. Monte, we didn't have it until we got 7th, 8th grade when it started being mobile. Even Google wasn't around then, so you had to go wait a little bit after. Oh, they don't never know the struggle of having.
They don't know the struggle of going.
AOL chat room.
They don't know going to them bookstores and looking at them the magazine areas and trying to take a couple of magazines and go to a corner. They don't understand.
When they go to HBO and it's be blaring, but because they cut it off, but you try.
See, now you guys are starting to get into the dirty territory. You try to go there during the softcore time, and you try to catch the flicker.
They don't understand the power of the last button on your remote control. They don't understand the power of the last button on your remote control.
The last button is 100% the most. Is like the 7th Dragon Ball, bro.
Bro.
It is one.
They don't understand
last
the
button is
last
one
button.
piece, my nigga. Like y'all been looking for one.
You just keep your finger poised over it.
Hey,
shout to
I always
picture.
Went back to Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network every time, no matter what.
Yep, it had to be some random kid station.
Of course, I wasn't watching Spice Channel.
They don't understand.
I wasn't watching Spice Channel.
I ain't gonna lie. I've had it before where I've hit the last button and the last channel I watched was just as bad, and there was just something super horrible happening on TV. I was like, dang.
More porn.
Yep.
Yeah,
hit last on Skinamax and it takes you to Showtime After Dark. I was like, dang.
Oh, Showtime After Dark was amazing.
That's when you got too deep, bro. When you got too deep in the bag, you're like, I'm good now.
I'm good. I can multiple
it's like 2:30 How you remember the last button? That's like the thing you tried for. It's like the Olympics.
It was that one time.
Glass of water, you wasn't expecting them. You like,
oh snap. Caught me completely off guard. Like I said, it went from Skinamax to Showtime After Dark. It was just, it was bad.
MTV, but MTV sometimes be weird, so you had to pick Nickelodeon because MTV
hit last back to a Brazilian butt lift commercial.
My best pickup line came from MTV, like way after dark. I think it was called MTV After Dark or some shit, but it was basically about some people that lived in a dorm room, like they lived in a dorm, and it was trying to make some kind of like college drama. And this girl was like,
was it College Hill?
It was. I said MTV, not Bet.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was Black Entertainment Network.
And they said, and this chick was like, oh, but that's your toothbrush because they was in the co-ed bathroom. Maybe it was called co-ed, maybe. And then the girl was like, and then the dude was like, oh, you can use my toothbrush. It'll be like kissing. So I thought that was a good pickup line, and I thought about how disgusting that is.
You thought the intro to Mono was a good pickup line?
So now when girls like maybe bite off my sandwich or something, like, can I get a bite of it? I can say, yeah, it'd be like kissing. But not brushing their teeth.
Indirect kiss logic, you guys. He's been watching way too much anime.
Yeah.
Hey, but the go-to was honestly BT Uncut. Them music videos.
Yo, BT Uncut was wild.
Oh
That's
yeah,
when I met Trina.
the best low budget videos of all
Shout
time.
out to Uncle Luke for all his ratchet videos that were on BET Uncut.
I ain't got no panties
Trina.
on. No panties on the dance floor.
Trina was lit.
What else? What else do they have? I mean, obviously they had like tip drill and stuff. They had like some mainstream uncut, but it was the
Put them
low
on the
budget
glass.
videos for me.
Let's get back to being a good role model.
Put the panties off. Put the panties off.
Let's get
Put the panties off on the dance floor.
let's get back to being a good role model for.
Are we done? Are we done talking about pastries again? Oh,
That's
literally the only reason I joined this show was to talk about sexy pastries.
Yeah, pastries.
I mean,
Not pasting.
do you count Hawaiian rolls as a pastry?
Yeah, not pasting some things. Just pastry.
I was gonna say pasties I can deal with. I can deal with pastries too. Everybody loves a good crepe.
Yeah.
Greenfield crepes.
All right,
Well-
back to being a good role model. We have educated you on how to.
Nice slice of pie.
We educating y'all right now on the struggle. Y'all didn't come through the struggle. We gonna talk about that a little later. Y'all.
This is an example of being a bad role model.
We gotta give you all these. Y'all know we know y'all doing it. So let's be honest. We not holding y'all back.
Can we just talk about our favorite bakeries for the rest of the show? Honestly,
No, Joe. We gotta talk about
Bakeries or baked goods in general. Do you guys pie or cake? Do you take pie or cake? You got a piece of pie in front of you, you got a piece of cake in front of you. Which one do you go to?
I like that direction. I like cake, but I really like peanut butter pie though.
I see. That's always the question. I feel like with cake, it's a lot easier because I don't find too many cakes I don't enjoy. But pies, there are certain pies that I don't really vibe with. Like I'm not the biggest fan of key lime pie. I can deal with it sometimes.
let's
but
get
give me
Tori back.
Good pecan.
I've never had
Strawberry
key lime
rhubarb
pie.
if I'm feeling older.
Let's get Tori back. Tori,
Joe said talk about bakeries. I was just following
I know
following suit. My
Tori.
bad.
Good. Let's talk about role models. How do I define it? How do I say what a role model is?
You ever seen
Yeah.
a piece of bread with stilettos on it? All right, I'm done. All right.
Oh,
But
he
Wow,
said
man.
a piece of shortcake in high heels. Let's go. You ever seen that bunt cake in a thong, bruh? Woo!
Fuck cake.
all right, we getting into some other places that I don't even know now. I understood what Joe going. Tori going somewhere. All right.
Oh, refer back to American Pie,
I know
audience,
what you're talking
for
about, but you're going
reference.
you're going to us. But role model is a person who influences you, not necessarily good or bad, not necessarily. He don't even have to be the smartest, just someone you look up to, somebody that looks out for you. We know, and if you from the hood or something, a lot of young people go to gangs. Can be people role model, like, oh, I want to be like that drug dealer or that dude who doing that because he got the nice car.
Everybody wants to be the guy that's buying everybody ice cream.
You got role models you want to be. Some people want to be the pastor because they see he got some. Unless in Brooklyn, then they want to rob the pastor. But he out there showing his chains on Instagram. Somebody got.
I literally hate that guy.
They said they got him for $400K worth of jewelry.
Somebody said $1 million.
How's there $400K worth of jewelry at the church? What church was this?
In Brooklyn. Yo, that he spent that much money. That camera work was horrible. He could have got a better camera. But
Did I say using a closed circuit TV ad from fucking Kroger?
Yeah.
$400,000
What was that?
jewelry. I'm like, sir.
He spent all that on jewelry, but wouldn't upgrade the church's cameras.
You ain't gonna get a real webcam?
the mic sound bad. He's like, I'm just saving all my money for me.
I imagine when they turn the computer on, when they turn the
So is
computer
this one
on,
of
it
those
sounded like,
churches where we know the collection plate went around the pastor's neck?
oh, he gets Venmo'd. He gets Venmo'd and all that
Oh.
shit. Hey, I imagine
I
when
heard
they
it was
turn
getting
on,
mad. Yo,
when they
Christianity is mad greedy, yo.
Capitalism.
when they turn on the
When capitalism is your religion,
the
that's
video
crazy.
system for like the computer, it just said do 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 do. I was like, is this Windows 98?
Joe said they still got dial up in the goddamn church
Is this
activity
Windows
room.
XP? Get this nigga from getting robbed in 0K.
Shout out Windows
This
XP.
nigga got
though,
robbed
and
on
every
MySpace,
pirated
bro.
version of it.
Who gets robbed on MySpace?
Wow.
Hey, but hey,
That's
listen,
crazy.
first to
There ain't no prayers for that. They got plenty of prayers. Fuck that.
what
I hope it was.
Well, the-
Man, he had it in shared.
the
You know that
the people
jewelry
were
was in
traumatized
shared.
because they had to deal with whatever they was suppressed to them.
Who was the nigga in the background just chilling? That was like, shit, we ain't getting robbed.
The dude who he was the one who set it up.
I believe that was his nephew, my nigga, for real shit. I think that was like his
Because
nephew.
there was the one dude that was just super calm. He was chilling. He was like, another day.
Yeah.
I hope they catch him though, so we can hear the story. That'd be funny. But also, I hope they don't, because that's also funny.
No, I was gonna say, don't be wishing jail time on niggas. That's not cool. Bad karma. You committed the crime. I hope you get away with it, as long as no one was hurt.
What?
So I mean, that's a good role model for somebody that's a criminal. Like,
back to being good role models on
the
this
best
show.
role model for criminals
Criminals
is
get
the
away.
people who don't get caught.
But like I said, you can either be some people look up to their pastor, some people look up to the local drug dealer, some people look up to a teacher, a principal. And we notice one problem I noticed how you define a role model is the person you look up to, the person you want to be like, the person you emulate. Because we know one thing kids do, they emulate things. When you say something, they repeat it, especially the people they really love or look up to. So that's one thing I noticed, that you focus on who you focus on, and that's who you want to be and be like. So one thing that I've been noticing going around is there's been a lack of role models, specifically for men, more so even for black men, because most people tend not to want to fill that role or feel like they don't recognize the role they're in. Like, they don't recognize that people look up to them. They like, I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to do what's best for me. But it's people looking after you and looking up to you and seeing what you're doing. And like, I want to be like that guy because that's the coolest guy in the neighborhood. Or that's the coolest guy on TV. That's the coolest guy that make the coolest music or something like that. And most people, we saw this from a streamer named Trainwrecks. I don't know if y'all know who that is. Charles Barkley, more people might know who that is. Say, I'm not a role model, even though they are role models. They are role models. So I want to know,
was that Kevin Durant or was that LeBron that said I'm not a role model too? Was it Kevin Durant or he was just saying I'm not a good guy? Well, remember his little bad guy thing?
Probably Kevin Durant. LeBron would not say that, so it's not a LeBron type of thing. It's Kevin Durant probably.
Okay.
But I don't know y'all thoughts on the lack of role models and the reluctance of people to be role models, even though consequently, not on purpose, they are.
If you don't mind, I wouldn't say it's a lack of role models. Niggas, role models everywhere. It's just who you choose to be a role model.
When I was saying this, lack of responsibility,
a lack of wanting to be a role model. Why don't
everybody
niggas want to be
model,
role
even
models?
if they don't want, inconsequentially, they are saying I'm not a role model, even though they are. So they like, so when you put responsibility on them, they be like, no.
So I mean, you just told me Charles Barkley. I don't look up to that nigga, even if he wanted to be a role model.
But in the 90s, people did, so that's why he said it. I'm just saying.
In the 90s, no, the fuck they didn't. He did. I mean, unless you gambling and fucking hoes, yeah. Then Charles Barkley is a role model. But no, bro. And I'm not looking at Charles Barkley.
He could have been my role model then.
I like what he does on TV, but even then, from as far as a media personality, honestly, a closer role model to me from a media personality, actually, I would almost prefer Skip Bayless over Charles. So, I mean, with that being said, like, you know, I don't think there's a lack of role models. I don't think there's a lack of people that don't want to be a role model. They may not come out there and say, I don't want to be a role model. They may not come out there and say, I do want to be a role model. But and again, you said, you know, inconsequentially, they are. So I think there are plenty of people that want to show people the path. I don't think people are that selfish anymore. Now the scammers might not show you their scam methods like exactly how you want them to show them, but I mean, if that's your role model, that's your role model. But I look at my role models such as like a Kanye. Like his biggest thing was saying, you know, like it's been for the kids. So I'm not seeing a lack of role model. Me, I actually, as wild as I am, I want to be a role model for someone. So you know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a lack of it. And then, like I said, sometimes you become that what do you call it? Is when you really don't want to do something, but you just somehow become it, like a Genkai, or like you just reluctant. You didn't even know you didn't even know you were supposed to. Master Roshi, he was just chilling on the island reading Playboy, but he became role models to some of
How
the
come he
greatest
never
people.
went and found an escort?
I believe he has, actually. I believe he has, and I believe he also has the means for it as well. He has infinite coins.
He owns his own island.
But yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. I don't think we have a lack of. So I mean, I don't know where we were going with that question, but I would say I don't think there's a lack of role models. I think there's.
I think I can answer that question though. I think that it's not so much that you don't want to be a role model as it is you don't, the weight that comes with it. Like in society today, say you are this role model, and then someone who sees you as a role model does something super wild or crazy. Now the backlash is on you, like, oh, look, they were trying to emulate you, and this is what happened. And I can understand that. That's why I'm one of those people to tell you, but I am not a role model. You do. Not everyone is built to live the type of life that I live. Not everyone is built to be a role model, even though, like you said, coincidentally, whether we want to be or not, we're role models to the impressionable people around us. But I think the fear of being a role model is like the social backlash that could come from you being a role model, and then someone who openly says you're their role model then does something wild. Like the stuff that happened in Uvalde. What if the dude who did that came out and said some random person in that town was like, they had been talking like, that's my hero, I want to be just like them when I grow up, and then they go and do something like that. Like the blowback from that would be wild in today, because even though you had nothing to do with it, you're literally guilty by association. So I can understand why that would deter some people from wanting to be a role model, just because you don't know what people are capable of nowadays, and why want yourself lumped in there when you ain't gotta be.
Monte?
We have come so far. We really have. We've come so far. Me and Uniqo. We went from, being cool to last show. We was here, and now I 100% disagree with everything he just said. I would have to say that. No, it's not even in a mean way. It's not even in a mean way. It's not. I promise. It's just it's
sick of these shows like this. Every show I gotta say, fuck you, Mom Ray. Every show. What is this?
Like, I don't know why you have such animosity towards me. It's okay. I give you an air hook.
It's not like he's trying to send your favorite character to the Sonyverse.
I give you an air hook. But there is a lack of role model.
Don't say nothing about Noel, nigga. You say something about Noel, I'm on Tori's side now. Fuck it.
I mean, it is what it
Watch
is.
just
But
if y'all want to know what that little inside joke is.
So he was looking for you the first time. Now it's gonna be both of us looking for you. Not actually no niggas. Oh, you ain't shit.
As I was saying before, I was so rudely.
That's a wonderfully beautiful Marvel depiction.
So too bad Sony might have it in their show. Anyway,
just say you want to fight me.
Anyway, to the point of role models, I 100% disagree. I think there is a lack of role models, and not to Tori's point. Most of the role models that we used to look at or anything of that nature never just said they were role models. Most of the time, your role model doesn't know that they're your role model. Just to be honest, most of the time their life just emulates something. Their life just portrays something you want to emulate, but they don't necessarily just say, "Oh, I'm Generation X's role model that they should aspire to be like." Oh, but nobody ever says that. It's just most of the time, like our role models in the past never said anything like that. But now it's a lack of role models because negativity and being toxic is popular in the media. Versus when all of us were coming up, look at the media that we were.
Television shows.
Like television show is one example. Like most of the popular television shows were what? Cosby Show, Fresh Prince, Martin, and most of those portrayed black men in positions of unity, solid marriages, good wisdom, soundness. They weren't really toxic, not to the
Family
major
Matters.
thing. Like, you can add Family Matters in there. I mean,
I had the
Sharing
Uniqo
with
episode. That was
children,
pretty
man.
funny.
but all of those would show like a lot of men just in good sound families and sound things. You can look at sports. Most of the sports figures we looked at were Michael Jordan, where you go, young Charles Barkley, Elijah Wan, Shaq,
Mike
Kobe
Tyson.
before the Kobe miss happened. A lot of the sports figures were relatively sound, and they had some crazy stories, but they weren't just outright toxic. And to be fair, most of them nowadays still aren't either. But you can look at that. You can look at the music people, like even the rappers of old days time, when they had issues with another rapper, they wouldn't go and go cock the Glock and go banging with them most of the time. They'll make diss tracks. They'll be like literally diss albums against each other. They'll be rapping on each other's beats most of the time. Even the portrayal of the hood, though the hood was dangerous, they didn't portray the hood as, the hood is just all about smashing. It was more of not crying.
That's an oldie.
The hood was most of what they portrayed. And that's everybody from like Lil Wayne, Ludacris to Manny Fresh, like all of them, other than the outright wars between the gang affiliated ones. Like
the hood seemed pretty fun place to
I was
be.
gonna say, you can't lie. 50 Cent made it sound like he was in a shootout every other day.
When it started, though.
And back that ass up. I want to be in that video in that hood.
I mean, come on now. We had BT because we were talking about that earlier. We all know that was there.
Everybody wanted to be.
Hey, the fire hydrant go off. Everybody ran to it.
What about back that thing up? Did you want to be in that video?
Even to the point of like R&B back in the day. R&B back in the day, they were loving, they were crying. R&B nowadays is a lot of toxic. Like, look at the the last few albums of a lot of R&B. They are toxic. It's literally a discussion forum on Twitter. Like, has R&B just turned into nothing but toxicity? And so you look at a lot of the role models, the media, what they're portraying now as role models aren't people that aren't like qualities. I ain't gonna say people, but nothing against people. Aren't the qualities that you really should take into yourself. Do we even need to talk about the gang affiliated beefs and stuff going on in media now? Like, you got people recording videos over people's graves. It was never that bad back in the day. Never that disrespectful. Not like that at least. So
hey, we had Who I Smoke was wild.
Like, do we need to talk about some of those? Like so let's not act like rap media. Oh, they way darker than it used to be. Definitely darker. And a lot of the old rappers, like, come on now. What was Puff Daddy? Like, Puff Daddy wasn't super dangerous. Puff Daddy was out there just doing Puff Daddy things. Like, he was a great artist. Still is. It was just like, he wasn't showing that kind of stuff. Or like Mace. Like, come on now. Like, no. So nowadays, media is portraying so much negativity and toxic, and it's popular that it's hard to find a significant role model. Shoot, the comedians we used to look up to back in the past, whether it's Bernie Mac, friggin' Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, before some of that mess. Like, even the stuff they showed in movies, it was just funny. So, like, just a lot of media, what they're showing now is making it to where the role models that you see on a normal basis really don't have role model qualities that you should take into themselves. So because of that, it's a loss of role models, because how many positive figures are shown in media today?
That's a good question.
How many good positive role models do you see?
Obama was the last one, dog.
I'm literally like, you can look at our lovely former president Obama, him and his wife Michelle, lovely marriage. I mean, shoot, some of the old ones we used to look at back in the day, they ain't good no more. Will and Jada, that they turned to a joke. Like,
The Rock is an amazing role model.
Yeah, he cool. Like, so, like, I'm just looking like it ain't many. Like, we just look at some of the old marriages, like I said, Will and Jada is dang near a joke at this point. Like, it's not. You don't even have a lot of marriages that you can look at nowadays. People be criticizing Steve Harvey's third marriage just because it's his third marriage. Not to say there's nothing wrong with it. I have no problem with him. I love Steve Harvey. Like, he's one of the men I still like listening to and like still aspire for, because he's like pretty straightforward. Love some Steve Harvey. But I'm just like, there's not many like that you can just look at and be like, okay, that's a pretty sound person, or that's portrayed in media strongly. Not to say you can't find it, but it's just pushed in media. Like, what men are pushed in media nowadays that are really good role models, other than like Obama and maybe a couple others?
So would you say the lack of role models is falling on society as a whole.
Yep.
I think what, and to my point when I was saying that, I was just letting everybody get their thing out. I agree with Monte. Those like people that do bad things don't want to be seen as role models, but they are. So to Joe's point, there are a lot of them, but they don't want to be seen as that. They be like, "Hey, I'm just trying to do what I do because I don't want the responsibility of holding up a culture or some people on my back because I want to do what I do. And I want to have fun and just have my thing." So I do think I think there is a lack of good role models and a lack of people that want to be role models. I don't think there's a lack of role models in general, but I think it's a lack of people that actually want to be like, okay, I'm finna put on my Uncle Phil cap and be like, I could raise my nephew or I call.
You definitely don't see as many PSAs as you used to.
Yeah, so it's not like people want to be. And then you got the virtue signals that nobody want to be like, that try to be role models, but them people annoying and they just want a virtue signal that they perfect and you not, and they want to hold in your face and cancel everybody. So they ain't consider. I don't consider them role models. Even though they try to be, but I mean, people don't like them anyway. So Joe, you can respond to Monte, and then we'll go on to, because Monte said something that's going on to my next point.
No, I mean, no. Let's move on to the next point. I mean, you know, I said what I said. He said what he said. He got Noel in the back. It is what it is.
Oh, comment the description.
You suck. I hate this nigga.
Comment below comment.
Let me call my girl Black Boma, man. I think you set this nigga straight.
Comment below with your thoughts on the conversation we just had. Let us know, how do you feel? Like and subscribe. We got super thanks. We got all that stuff. We got merch link, all that stuff in the bio. So go check that out.
Buy the merch.
Vince McMahon is somebody's role model out there. Y'all need to know that shit, by the way.
I mean, Austin Theory.
Some of the prop right there.
That's a thing.
Like you know
you should hope to have $14 million to pay people in hush money at some point in time.
Not nothing against these people, but you know some of the recent people we've heard in media recently. We got like Nick Cannon, Future, you know, those some names. No family dynamics because they have multiple kids by multiple women. So not even the family dynamic is even being pushed in media nowadays.
I was about to say Nick Cannon is out for the propagation of the Cannon name.
I ain't got a problem with Nick Cannon. It's just like the dynamic that they're pushing in media is like some of the aspects that those people have with are questionable.
Yeah.
Having a lot of pushment and stuff. Well, like Elon Musk, not like his business ventures or the success of his business ventures. No, they telling that Elon Musk's father made a second child with his stepdaughter. That's what's pushed in media.
See, that's the thing.
But say gonna buy companies and sell out. That's what we've been doing like 5 years. He ain't been doing
see, that's the thing with Nick.
And making
Cannon, like with Nick Cannon, I appreciate the fact that he's been successful. He was on all that. What kid that thought they were kind of funny thought they should be on all that? Like you wanted to be on all that, bro. Yeah, hell yeah. And he did that, and then he made a whole company be like, because your name start with an N, fuck it. We just gonna push you. You know, so he had that, and then
niggas wearing giant N's around their necks.
And then he started he did Wild and Now, he did all that stuff. But here's the thing. I never looked at Nick Cannon for just having a whole bunch of kids. That's not what I admire about him. I'm talking about like the great shit that he does, which is, I guess, being a father is good. But I think about the great shit he does. When I fuck with Kanye West, I don't think about how the fact he got a girl like Kim Kardashian. I think about how much his like desire to win and make great music and be a great person despite his struggles and what he has to go through. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what inspires me. I don't give a fuck about the other shit. Like, you're just trying to get a chick like Kim Kardashian.
No, that's you. What I said was the stuff that's pushed in media, not the stuff you take away from it, but the stuff that's pushed in media is not the things that you need to be taken away. Like everything you just named is not pushed in media when it comes to Nick Cannon and the great things that he has done with his career. That's not pushed in media. That's what I'm saying.
They push his kids in media, correct? They push how many kids he had. That's what I'm saying. That's the shit I don't give a fuck about. I admire him for something else. I admire him for something else. I fuck what they talking about on TMZ and what he's doing. I don't care how many girls he lay on top of, how many bodies he had. Hell, matter of fact, we a part of the media that talked about this nigga having a whole bunch of kids. At the end of the day, that's not what I care about with Nick Cannon. I admire this dude doing something absolutely amazing and great.
I know that's just, I'm telling you, that's why it's a lack of positive role models being pushed in media because they focus on the negative aspects of people and they push that forward.
And that's all that some people know about that person.
Like,
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
There we go. Like, people don't even think of how Wild 'N Out put out so many good black comedians and African American people that we know now, like DC Young Fly, Carlos Miller, Chico Bean, Emmanuel Hudson. Push them forward. None of that's ever said.
I would have never knew them cats.
Yep.
So
only one I would have known would
even Justina Valentine with her fat ass.
I would have known Carlos.
That's cut in the media, nigga.
Tori is pushing negative media behavior, and we do not condone this at all.
Pushing sexist narratives in the
I am
in the media.
signaling right now to Tori. We are not.
Go ahead and you guys go ahead and put on that suit of white armor. I'll let you guys.
Zelmae, pander real quick and talk about how a woman is more than their ass real quick. We did a quick soliloquy about that.
It's part of the Joe. You being six, Joe. That's part of them.
See, we do this every time. Joe, you turn this on me.
Why you?
I thought you hung your toxic jersey up, Joe. What happened?
That woman love her body. Shout out to her.
You right back here in the slums with the rest of us. What the fuck's going on?
You gotta always save me a seat, nigga.
Oh, you already know. First class, dog. All the way through the gutter.
Hey, I left my jacket on the back of the chair for a reason.
There you. Oh, okay. Seat warmer. I got you.
But
nobody take my damn toxic seat.
He reserves the right to return at any point in time.
At any point.
But I want to talk about that too because I want to talk about something else.
You want to talk about Joe's toxicity?
No,
I mean, we do that a lot.
On my coat.
We do that a whole lot.
I'm just playing, man. Look, man, this is a serious ass show, and I just enjoy the random bullshit sometimes. So
this show ain't been serious since we started today.
What? We talked about real good role models.
Yeah.
All about
it's a piece of bread with butter
on it, bro. We even had a dessert segment, nigga. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dessert. The buns.
Lots of cakes.
The last button.
Lots of cakes.
People so lost on what we talking about. So let's bring them back. I don't know what they talking about.
The young people are definitely not lost.
Uniqo.
They know about the cake.
Ain't no way you telling me a young person know American Pie.
Bro, I love American Pie. I know a young person might not know it.
They may not know American Pie.
Young person know American Pie, Tori.
Now, I love American Pie. He right about that. But when I tell you, Uniqo, this is the pickup line you use. Be like, girl, I'm trying to go back to back on you like the last button.
Like the last what?
And be like, come over for some Netflix and chill. I'll show you the button I'm talking about.
The what?
I can't see y'all niggas actual pickup.
Hey, the funny thing about it, if you get a girl that laugh at that, she know exactly what you're talking about.
The last what?
9 times out of 10, folks, if you can make a chick laugh, you can close the deal.
No, I literally did not hear what word came after the last.
The last button.
What?
Button.
Oh, the last button.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Old head joke.
That mean shit. Yeah, if she laugh at that, that
mean
that mean we had the same graduating year.
All right.
If she don't laugh at that, she don't. Shit, she might be too young for you, player. She don't know about the last button.
If she don't get the last button, you might need to check ID.
All right,
let's checking ID
before we lose the key demo. Let's go.
All right, Vince.
That's totally good.
Or no, that's Tony, Vince. Which one do you want to be?
But
I'll take either. Honestly, I can use $1 billion.
Oh, and real quick, and then I'm be done. I swear to God, I'm done with the nonsense. They said Triple H, since he is creative, he gonna have every belt.
Bro, all of them, even the NXT ones. He's coming back with the pacemaker.
They said he gonna come in. They said he gonna come in with every single belt on both
more
his
to keep
arms.
them on now.
First thing he's gonna do is pin Cody.
All they know is Triple H
He's gonna pin Ronda Rousey. He gonna pin everybody in one show. All right, I'm done.
He's restarting the Undertaker's streak just to break it.
They're gonna make that man wrestle for 2 weeks straight. So Triple H. All right. I'm done. Okay.
But,
something about people looking up to people or something. What?
But this space.
I look up to Triple H.
But this.
Hey, he was a role model, yo. He was the
a role model.
But now he kind of is. But back in the day, he went. But let's go on.
Look at all these cross chops we were throwing out back in the day. He was a definite
That
role
got
model.
so many kids suspended. We not talking.
I got suspended multiple times.
Yeah, but we talk about
suck it is on my record at this point. In my
Yep.
permanent record, they say you have in school.
But as we were talking about role models, they are
That's
a
stupid.
certain space that has been entered into this role model role in the form of Andrew Tate.
Oh, is this a red pill read-in?
Yes, in the form of Andrew Tate's. All these other people that's jumping into this space to basically scam people. But they are looked at as role models because they are masculine men.
Yeah.
And they are these manly men. And I want to get into something. Forgive your parents. Why did I say this? I'm going to say this as a role model. Let's go. This is an educational section. Forgive your parents. Why do you need to forgive your parents? Because let me tell you a story of young Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate hates women because his dad left his life because he said that his dad said, if your mama wasn't nagging me, I'll be around more. Which coincidentally could lead to young men, many young men, if their father tell them that, to resent your mother, therefore resenting women, and if the woman is subservient, therefore you won't leave me and my son and my family, and everybody will have their father, unlike me, who my dad was going around playing chess with everybody in some park, living on the street, rather than hang around me.
He was a good chess player.
Yeah, he was. He was a good chess player. But you
go
But
ahead.
you get that resentment, and you hear those things, and you hear that because his dad basically would never come home and see him, and then blame his mom the reason he don't come home to see him. So you had that resentment. You had that something that you probably need to work out in therapy. But as you know, the red pill men, like therapy is a way to make your man weak, make your mind weak, and all those things. So I'm just here to tell you, forgive your parents, because I've seen a lot of people get mad recently because their parents didn't know. Like that's a common thing in young people's household. Your parents didn't know something. You got upset because they didn't train you for the world, because you learned that everything you was taught when you grew up isn't really true. Like if I get an education, I'll be successful and rich. 99% people don't be successful and rich. The average price is $50,000. How many people make you not successful? Therefore, you have resentment for your parents for telling you to go get this education or go get this job and do this, and you blame them for your life. So I just want to tell people, forgive your parents, because they are usually your main role model in your life, the person you closest to, the person you're around. If you have parents or your grandparents, whoever raised you, your uncle, auntie, whoever raised you, you usually hold them. So when they don't know things and you feel like you was wrong, learn to forgive them and just be happy. I don't know y'all thoughts on that, and the new people that's like fitting in those spaces, who often come from this like resentment. Because Andrew Tate, despite what you say, is becoming a role model to a lot of young people.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough. I agree that you should forgive your parents, but this nigga's dad sounds like the dumbest nigga I've ever heard in my life. He is the most irresponsible person I've ever heard in my life. You said I don't rock with my child because I don't rock with your mama.
You see, don't come around,
and that's why I wasn't around.
Yes,
actually, he's not gonna get dumb nigga from me, because that's disrespectful to dumb niggas. This dude is dumb. That's the dumbest person. Who is he? Was he slow? We need to meet Andrew Tate's dad, because he's stupid.
He was a chess player. He was actually
anybody can play chess, and you can get your ass beat.
Well, no. I mean, he was he was like a professional chess player.
I don't know him.
No, bro, because I just watched the Andrew Tate interview with a dude who actually was at a seminar where Andrew Tate's dad taught.
Did you watch him play chess tour?
So
did you watch him play chess and be like, damn, good move? Huh?
But he was, I didn't even hear the question.
Let me ask you, have you seen a video of this man's dad making a move on chess and you was like, damn, that was a good ass move? Have you ever said that or seen that in your life?
No, but I haven't looked for it.
That's it. I'm leaving.
He's on record like Because the chess, they have a whole thing where they've recorded their
But
grandmasters.
I'm on
I
record
think
too,
your
nigga.
point is that
And
it
there
don't
aren't too
matter
many
how
black
good you
people.
is chess.
Listen, I say that to say there aren't too many black people on that list. His father is one of the black people on that list.
I've never heard of them. I've
Well,
heard of a
I
whole bunch
think
of
your
Russian
point
people.
is that
What
you
other
left
chess
your.
players have you heard of? Because I ain't heard of too
Well, he
many.
didn't really
They're
make
Russian.
no money, and he was running around without his son, and just left, and then blamed his mama for it, and
Who
then walk
just?
off for a year, and like don't come back for a year and a half.
What's that nigga name? Gone on Hunter x Hunter. You just gonna walk?
No,
You just gonna
he's
walk?
not quite Jing. It's Jing is like the ultimate bad dad almost. The only worst dad is like
Come find me.
No, this Andrew Tate guy is like he's taking the cake at this point. His dad, I just left your mom pissed me off, so I went and played chess. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And then
you listen to the rationalized excuse,
since you have so
it's
much
that he couldn't make money in the UK playing chess like he could in America.
Hold on. If you have that much disrespect for this woman, you leave her behind to raise your son.
Then blame her on the son, which make the son resent, and therefore he got this idea of women should be subservient because if my mama was subservient, my dad wouldn't have left me. Let's be honest. That's what it is.
That is the dumbest shit ever. And I feel bad for
it. Said that, but that's what it is.
I feel bad for Andrew Tate.
I don't think those words were used.
I'm glad that he has the success that he has. It comes from a terrible place, but at least he has, and I hope he does get the therapy he needs because what the fuck is that? That's all I got to say on that.
I hope the old lady that massaged him for 4 hours got properly compensated.
Who does this nigga think he is? Like, did you say Metropolis? You don't have any right to say any of the shit you've been saying, bro.
He definitely thinks he's Superman.
You beat some niggas in chess? That's your
you're talking about his dad. Okay,
yeah,
I was thinking about Andrew Tate. You focused on the father a lot.
No, I'm speaking on his dad. Like, dude, you basing all the shit that you saying to other people, and they over here basing the shit that they say off of him. I'm sorry. Role model? No, that's teaching you how to be misogynistic. That's teaching you how to be that's the epitome of toxic masculinity. Are you kidding me? Put this guy's picture next to toxic masculinity. Like, I left your mom because she gets on my nerves and I left her to raise you. That sounds stupid as fuck. That's all I got to say. Sorry.
That is what he said. He not like I said. He didn't say that. That's the reason I think like this. But we know it is because
he wouldn't have told that story if it had no relevance to who he is.
But I've seen a lot of people that think similar to him who had the same story where their dad left and then like your mama get on my nerves and he be drunk all the time and then they resent their parents.
Both my parents were cool, thankfully.
Monterey,
you can have both parents and still be a scumbag, folks.
Monterey, your thoughts on this? People entering the space, feeling it with toxicity, but being role models to the youth because they feel similar or have a similar thought process. Because apparently we trapped in the matrix.
That is on media. It's just the same thing I said before. Media does nothing. Well, media most of the time pushes negative stereotypes, negative aspects, and negative opinions because of the drama surrounding it. Because media needs things to trend so that it can prosper. So I understand why it's like that. But the main thing social media did is give everybody a platform and allow them to think that their opinion is important. So it's not like nothing against Andrew Tate or anybody else. Their opinion is their opinion. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just saying in general, because social media is a thing. Everybody has an opinion. And so everybody thinks their opinion is important. That is the problem that we have in media nowadays. So regardless, whether you think the sun is a construct of alien people, whether you think that we are in the matrix, whether you think it's a flat earth or not, whether you think anything of the sort, it doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. The matter of fact is you have a group of people that will think like-minded as you, and you can find them, and that would instantly boost your thoughts to make you think that you are important just because you have other people that agree with you. That does not make it important.
That is true. I saw something to Monte point. I saw something earlier. This kid that's on TikTok is blowing up right now. His name is Sneeko. He's talking to Alba. Alba is telling him, just go to your local shelter and help those homeless kids and watch how much a difference you can make. And he arguing that the system don't care about that. I gotta change the world and I do like that. And I'm like, that's a young guy who just found out that the world ain't quite the way everybody told him it was. So now he hurt and angry. So I see where he coming from. But at the same time, Abba even told him in the thing, you don't listen. You just speak how you feel before anybody else, and you assume you know what they're going to say. So he even proved it in that same segment in part 2, where he assumed he was going to say something and started yelling about it before he even knew what he said, and he said something completely different. But because I know better, I'm so smart, I'm so ambitious, I see these people getting on the same way because getting money and influence is all that's important now. That's how I'm gonna go say that. I'm gonna get everybody's thoughts on this. You saw a shift in male culture, specifically black male culture. It started in the 80s. The war on drugs, the 90s, the crime bill, 2000s, get money by any means necessary. Once you adapted getting money by any means necessary in a capitalistic system, I'm not like against capitalism, whatever is whatever. All systems have flaws and things can be manipulated the way it is now. Well, you got into a culture of get money by any means necessary. It kind of pushes the role model out the way, the good role model out the way, and lifts up the person that'll do whatever it takes to get where they at. But there's always been people that deal with that because they're the most powerful people in the world that do whatever to get where they're at. But now it's like a popularity thing to do whatever it takes. And the Monte point, the algorithm serves it. That what social media wants. You want the dude who's out here yelling, talking about get money in any way possible because I got successful. And that's why so many books on how to be successful. I always tell people, I can't tell you how to be successful because you're not me. Me and Joe right now are two totally different people. Now, we get successful together. That's going to be the goal, and that's the amazing thing. But if I didn't know Joe and Joe didn't know me, and he just read everything I did, and let's say I made $1 million, he made $1 million, and we just read a book on how he did it, Joe is skilled differently than I am. Monte is skilled differently than I am. Monte can't do what I do, and I can't do something Monte do. So how in the world can that person tell you how to get somewhere when you don't have the skill sets of that person to get there? So when they push the role model out the way and just taking core values of something, they are them women business. That's an old grandpa thing. If they ain't your wife or your sister related to you, you shouldn't care about what the other people don't gossip, do all that old school stuff. Take care of your family, take care of your home. When they get pushed aside and it's more about getting money and you see less family matters and more love and hip hop, that's going to happen. I don't know y'all thoughts on that, Joe.
I don't got nothing for that. You just literally explained everything. I'm sorry.
My turn?
Like I would just be repeating what you're saying. I'm not just being honest. Like,
I want to see if somebody got a chance to go back to it. Probably y'all can like and subscribe or whatever.
That was a nice ass soliloquy. What you talking about?
My team muted. All right, we're gonna.
I mean, it was good. Shit, you that was pretty good. I was the whole time you was talking. I was sitting there like, is he gonna clip this and just put up this part for the episode? Because I was like, nigga, yeah.
I said I'm gonna be back on my game. I feel like I ain't been on it, but let's go. But we finna get out of here. Shout out to everybody. It's my birthday. I'm probably live on Twitch or YouTube right now. So I decided I'm gonna be live all day. So come check me out. Link tree below. All that stuff. All my Twitch.
Yu-Gi-Oh! All day.
Yeah, I might be online all day. I might switch from YouTube to gaming channel. I'll put it in my Twitter, so go follow the Twitter. Or I might be on Twitch. The Twitch is in the link tree. I'll be somewhere. I might be on here. We might do a podcast.
Hey, can you schedule different times and then you can tell people when different blocks, like 20-minute blocks of niggas that's your friends coming through, and like at like 1:30, Joe's gonna be through here, and then we just, I guess, shower you with love or whatever the hell you want for your birthday.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if I'm going out. So I got to figure out if I'm going out for my birthday that day. So I need to figure out my time. So I'll let y'all know. So follow the link tree below. We got merch, podcast, my book. All this stuff is in the link tree below. Joe, where can they find you? Anything you got to sell?
Well, shit, UniqoWilliams.com for now, but shit, they said they've been brought to her attention that I have a girlfriend now. So shit, I don't know how long I'm gonna have this website.
Okay, so Uniqo.com until it's not there.
Next week, if I say Linktree shit, bitch, y'all know what it is.
The Linktree will be back next week.
Linktree is back.
So get on UniqoWilliams.com while you can.
While you can, my nigga.
So,
AfroCommy765 on all social media platforms.
Monterey, we can find you in your link. Your link tree ain't like set up by nobody else, is it?
Like it's yours, right?
You muted right now, Monterey. You muted.
No, my link tree is fine. It is mine. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So, make sure y'all get it. Your boy Monterey Hudson, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. Get at the show, make it make sense. Saturdays at 7:30ish. Nope, be crazy on there. Another week, other crazy things happening. We just gonna get into it and just come see your boy. Otherwise, I see y'all at the movie theaters. If this happens behind me at the Sonyverse, if no,
I noticed you moved his crotch from behind you. You switched it up.
If it happens, I'm being nice. I'm being
whole
nice.
episode.
Be nice. If it happens, I see y'all at the movie theater. I might be in disguise, but people might be looking for me. If this happens,
Right.
but it's cool though. We all good. Otherwise, I'm chilling. I got the crew here. Make sure y'all go and see your boy DoorDash, aka Jordan is the bench player, aka the culture is gone, aka we miss Robert. Black Panther is mid himself. Get at Uniqo Williams while you can hear him, because you might not be able to hear him this week.
Hey, what y'all wearing? Hold on, before we get out of here, what y'all wearing to the Blade movie, since everybody wore Kunta Kinte shit to Black Panther?
We wear all
It's
black.
dangerous.
Joe,
Since
wanna
they
wear-
wore-
you
since
gotta
they
get with
wore
the culture.
I'm coming in the trench coat.
since they wore Kwanzaa to the Kwanzaa shit to the first goddamn Black Panther.
Joe.
What y'all wearing to Blade?
I'm wearing a shirt
a
with this
black
right
trench
here
coat.
behind me.
Doc Martin.
I'm wearing a shirt with this right here behind me. It's
This
gonna have
nigga say don't wear
Sonyverse
Nolan
2025 right here front.
Yeah.
Yo, I might make that shirt. Money, send me that. We might make this shirt and put it on the website. Sony 2025. If Sony don't sue me, it's a joke. I might misspell Sony just so they don't sue me.
I was gonna say cease and desist inbound.
Sorry, you cannot use our angles. I'm gonna change the picture.
Yeah.
Change the font and you'll be gravy.
We all had a good time. We had a good time today. We talked role models. We talked about everything. We talked about bakeries.
Role models, nigga.
Talking about, we know what y'all like. We know
Real role model.
I tell you, y'all ultimate role model. Go follow him. Link you below. He's saving the culture, so that's what he do. Every day I'm on TikTok, and it's my birthday, so remember to keep stopping. Remember, something amazing can happen. And I love y'all. Peace.
Happy birthday!